today we're going to be taking a look at secret changes within Fortnite Battle Royale that we never know about because Fortnite don't give us patch notes anymore. Luckily, because people look at the in-game stats within Fortnite, I'm going to keep you guys updated right here, right now with recent weapon stat changes that you won't have even known have happened. Stat changes for weapons that aren't even out yet, which hints at them coming back very, very soon. And also a few changes that have happened to a few items in-game you may not have known about as well. Loads of secrets going on here. I am basically becoming Epic Games for this video and telling you the patch notes, since they won't. If you guys want patch notes to come back, hit that thumbs up button within the next 10 seconds. Let Epic Games know. Otherwise, all of these things that get changed just go unnoticed and it's completely pointless. Either way, patch notes or not, I'll always be here keeping you guys updated. So make sure you subscribe here to the channel for the latest Fortnite news and information. Thank you as always for everyone using code ALIA in the Fortnite item store. Without further ado, let's get into the first changes. So these aren't specific weapon changes, but at the beginning of Chapter 2, you may not have known that actually campfires, once you use them in the wild, since campfires aren't a trap anymore, you can actually relight them with 300 wood. I literally learned that just by doing some research for this video. On top of that, the fishing rod at the beginning of Chapter 2 could not interact with other things like items and weapons, etc. However, the recent content update, both harpoons and also fishing rods can actually be used to pull back ammo, weapons, healing items. A really cool little bit of information which makes those items even more useful. The focus on this video though will be weapon changes. So the first is one of two weapons that has been changed behind the scenes, hinting at them coming back into the game. The first one being the scoped assault rifle. Now this change actually adds in a new rarity. As we already know, the scoped assault rifle was available back in the day as green, blue, and actually there was a purple version. We then obviously got the thermal scoped assault rifle, which sat at the top tier of the scoped weapon range. And with recent changes, we actually got ourselves a grey scoped rifle. As we know, within Chapter 2, there needs to be a full range from grey all the way up to legendary of a weapon for it to be in the game, because every weapon within Chapter 2 has it. Thanks to Hypex on Twitter, who found these changes, we can see on screen here a load of stats. The important ones to look at here is the fact that from blue upwards, you're going to be dealing more than 34 damage, which means if they don't have any shield, you can actually hit them in 3 shots. And as we know, with a scoped assault rifle being 100% accurate, that is really, really good. However, I went onto Fortnite Wiki to take a look at the old scoped assault rifle stats compared to these new stats that have been pulled out of the in-game files. And it actually looks like, compared to the old stats, the damages have been dropped a little bit, so it's not quite as strong. And the reload speed of the weapons has been made a little bit longer as well. So not quite as good as they used to be, but with a full range of stats, including that brand new grey version of a scoped assault rifle, it looks like this is going to be coming back to the game very soon. What do you guys think? Good thing? Bad thing? Let me know down below in the comments. Next up, we got a weapon that was in the game for about an hour. I did actually make a video on it and then just literally never returned. And it was added, I think, right at the beginning pretty much of Season X last season. That is the machine pistol. This weapon was available within Solid Gold as a glitch for a very limited amount of time. I did actually do a video on it. You can find it in my Fortnite playlist. And I used the weapon and it wasn't that great. I can't lie to you. I obviously thought, as everyone else did, that it was put in the game by accident and would be released just later on in the season. However, it was never added into the game and still has not been added into the game. At the moment, there's only stats for the grey, green, and blue version, which means if we're going to continue, obviously having rarities for all colors, we still need that purple and also legendary version as well. But some slight tweaks behind the scenes, apparently, to the damage that this weapon is going to be dealing against materials, making it a little bit worse for some reason. If I'll be honest with you, I think the likelihood of a scoped assault rifle coming back is higher than this weapon, because I don't know why they've made this weapon even worse. It really wasn't that great when it was available back in Season X. So I think if anything, they need to do the opposite. We need to make this weapon a little bit better, make the hip fire a little bit better, and then pop it into the game properly. And when they do that, you can obviously see it here on the channel. I'm excited to give it another go. So yeah, 2 weapons potentially coming to the game very soon. So keep an eye on the channel to see if anything else happens. Now, next up, we're about to look at weapons that are in-game that have had changes that haven't been openly talked about by Fortnite, but I'm gonna let you guys know what's up. Just before we jump into that, however, we got a little bit of a leak from Fortnite themselves, actually. Don't think they quite meant to do this, but I'm here to show you guys anyway. On my recent video, where I actually unlocked and got the Merry Mint pickaxe, which everyone's going crazy for at the moment, I talked a little bit more about seasonal items and OG items, and one of the skins, it was OG for a little while, was actually one of the St. Paddy Days skins, the female version of St. Paddy or St. Patrick's Day, and it looks like for some reason Fortnite basically used a preview image for one of the creative islands that people can access using a skin that's not out yet. And this comes directly from Fortnite and looks to be the male counterpart to the female St. Paddy's Day skin. Why they've gone ahead and used this, I don't know. How this has gotten through approval and actually been shown has since been removed. St. Paddy's Day isn't until like next March, which is just absolutely ages away. But either way, guys, a little bit of a sneak peek at a skin that we shouldn't be looking at, and Fortnite doing a little bit of an oopsie there. The closest seasonal skins that we're coming up to is obviously Christmas, so make sure you've got code ALIE ready. I'm sure we're going to get some absolute bangers, but I thought you guys would be interested in that little bit of a mistake from Fortnite. But moving forward, let's take a look at weapons, and we have a lot of weapons. I mean, many weapons that have had changes, which Fortnite obviously haven't told us about. Since the beginning of Fortnite Chapter 2, there's actually been subtle weapon changes throughout the season. Obviously, as I keep on saying, no patch notes means we don't really know what's going on here, as we're normally told them. But we've got weapon changes ranging all the way from the ARs to the shotguns to the SMGs to the snipers. And we're going to go through all of them just so you're aware of what is going on, so that when you pick up the weapons, if they feel a little bit different, you know, thanks to me. Basically, the patch notes right here. First of all, taking a look at the standard ARs, all the way from grey to purple, so discounting the legendary gold version, we have had a negative effect to the reload time, making it a little bit longer. I mean, tiny tweaks and tiny changes going on here, but apparently they thought it was reloading a little bit too quickly. All of the bursts haven't been touched. They're still doing their thing and still being the burst assault rifles. One general thing that I actually mentioned on Twitter, and a few people replied saying, I didn't quite realize it, but I kind of felt it, is the fact that since the start of Fortnite Chapter 2, the actual bullet spread, especially of the ARs, is a lot worse. I felt like my weapon was almost a laser towards the end of Fortnite Season X. I think they realized that to make the bullet spread a little bit more crazy throughout the start of Chapter 2. Just in case you guys have felt the same thing and were thinking the same thing, they definitely made that change. Moving on to the shotguns, we have a change initially for the grey, green, and blue. Again, making the reload time a little bit worse and a little bit longer, unfortunately, if you want to reload the whole of that shotgun. No changes to the purple, and then moving on to the gold, it actually got a positive change, making the reload a little bit quicker. So for some reason, they're just feeling like everyone's reloading too fast at the moment. Moving on to the SMGs, this time only changes for the grey and green, which are positive, making them reload actually quite a lot quicker, 26% quicker thereabouts, which is really good. And unfortunately, the purple and legendary versions were just too fast, and they've actually a negative. Their actual reload speeds are a little bit longer now, unfortunately. With even more changes, we've got the sniper rifles. We have the green. I don't know why just the green, but the green sniper rifle has had its reload time actually made a little bit faster. And then the legendary version, literally like a tiny amount a little bit slower. Not sure why those two specifically were picked out, but as you can see, if you look at the list in its entirety, that is a lot of weapons. We're talking almost all the weapons in the game having slight tweaks, and none of us know about it. Luckily, they're not the biggest changes in the world in terms of like big damage changes or making one weapon significantly worse or better than another that you just wouldn't know about. But thanks to, I believe it's a Reddit user, Tornor, who put all of this together. Really appreciate it. And as always, I'll be keeping an eye out on anything else that they happen to tinker with as well, so that we know what's going on. One big thing that Fortnite did, which I absolutely loved, and I still remember the very first time they did it, is State of Development posts, which is basically a giant post letting you know where they currently are within the development of Fortnite, what they're looking to do in the close future and also the very far future. The first time we ever got one of these, they basically gave us a preview of Tilted Towers being added and tons of other changes, which at that time was just absolutely mind-blowing. And we sort of gotten a step backwards in the wrong direction with patch notes going away. I think bring patch notes back, give us those big updates where you let us know what kind of direction you're moving Fortnite in the future, because I absolutely love them, and it gives us, the community, great transparency as to knowing what Fortnite is going to be moving into, which is always really important. At the moment, though, we are still in the early days of Fortnite Chapter 2. Maybe, just maybe, they're doing this just so we can all experience some new stuff for ourselves without just reading about it. But if they're doing it and we're already a few weeks into updates for Fortnite, then I mean, that's not the greatest news in the world, and it looks like maybe that's the end of patch notes forever, which sucks. I don't want to say it, but it could happen. As always, there'll be another update this week, which I will be covering, and I guess we'll find out if there are going to be any patch notes for that, which could give us a better indication moving forwards. If you have enjoyed and you haven't done so already, thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you for all of these guys on screen here. Even more shout outs for using code Ali8, and you can check out a recent video on screen here where we actually talked about changes that would make Fortnite Chapter 2 even bigger, even better, and I think you guys are going to like that video. Thank you for watching, guys. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you with another Fortnite update right here on the channel. Goodbye!